Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel today. If you are new here, my name is Kim and I'm an elementary school teacher here in Yokohama, Japan. And today I am going to go into teacher mode for Vlogmas number 10 today and talk about 5 things that really surprised me about the way people celebrate Christmas and the holiday season here in Japan. So let's go. So I was born and raised in the US and I came to Japan back in 1988. I know, a long time ago. Even though my ancestry is Japanese, I grew up totally with American culture and we celebrated the holidays as such. When I moved to Japan, of course the holidays were often a lonely time because we always spent the Christmas season with our family. We spent Christmas Day usually having dinner together or exchanging presents with the family, and as we got a little bit older, my family usually took a winter vacation somewhere, usually skiing. So it was really hard at first to come to Japan and adjust to a totally different environment. And there were some things that surprised me about the way Christmas is celebrated in Japan. Now, this is just based on my experience because there are lots of families in Japan that do celebrate it the same way as other countries, meaning that they celebrate the religious aspect of the holiday. They go to church, they spend time with their family doing traditions, and there are also those that don't regard it as a holiday because it is not a big part of Japanese culture. They focus most of their holiday attention on the New Year's holidays. And I do think over the past 30 years, the way Christmas is viewed and celebrated has changed. So now let's get into the 5 things that surprised me most about how Christmas is celebrated here in Japan. Once again, every family is different, and I know there are some people that will say, we don't do this. So this is just a general observation or things that I've experienced while in Japan. The first thing is that December 25th is not recognized as a national holiday. That's right. Even though it is Christmas Day, and some companies or some places of employment will honor that as a day off or give employees that celebrate that holiday as a day off, it is not recognized as a national holiday. So if you are a foreign employee of a company or a school in Japan, you might assume that you get December 25th off, but that isn't always the case. So even though Christmas is not celebrated as a national holiday, you will be surprised at all the different decorations that they do have around the country. Beautiful winter and Christmas themed illuminations are all over Japan. There are lots of Christmas plants like poinsettias. I don't think they have mistletoe. I haven't seen mistletoe yet. But they do have a lot of decorations. You go into any restaurant, shopping mall, shopping arcade, and it's fully decorated. Some of the most beautiful decorations I've seen. Wreaths, a lot of people do put wreaths on their door. Did I pronounce that right? Wreaths. But yeah, they put wreaths on the door. My neighbor even has their wreath from Christmas from last year. So I think it's a decoration used all year round, but during the Christmas time you can often see it decorated with different little ornaments. People do have Christmas trees, but this was also another little surprise, is that real Christmas trees or Christmas tree farms are not abundant here in Japan. They may have a few in the countryside areas. I have heard of some people being able to go and find a real Christmas tree, but I would say the majority of people buy fake Christmas trees of all sizes and decorate them for their home. I'm used to growing up with real trees. I don't think my family, we really had a fake tree as when we were growing up. It was always getting a real tree. The second thing that surprised me is that Japan actually does have their own Christmas songs. So most of the Christmas songs that you hear in Japan are Japanese translations of the famous Christmas carols, especially children's Christmas carols or songs that we associate with growing up with Christmas, have all been translated into Japanese, so you'll hear that around. There's also a lot of original Japanese style Christmas songs. However, the themes are usually related to love and romance, and it's not in the sense of the Christmas, the story or what Christmas stands for, or I don't know, some of the sentimental Christmas songs that we have in English. I don't know whether or not they've made versions of them in Japanese. I'll have to check on that. But the thing, I guess, maybe it's not really a surprise, but it's just something that I think any foreigner that is living or working in Japan, especially during the months of November to December, they know that there are only 2 Christmas songs that are played over and over and over again. You guys are all nodding your head because I know you know what I am talking about. The 2 Christmas songs that you hear in every single shopping arcade, everywhere you go, are dun 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 dun, Last Christmas by Wham! And All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. I came in 1988, so I know that All I Want for Christmas Is You had not come out yet. I can't remember if Wham! If Last Christmas had come out or not. But those 2 songs dominate Japan. I don't care where you are, you're going to hear those 2 Christmas songs wherever you go. So you will have it memorized before you know it, and those are usually the 2 songs, if you are a foreigner in Japan, that you will be asked to sing at any Christmas or holiday party. I'm warning you. The third surprise is how a lot of young people, and I guess I shouldn't say young people because I'm sure there are lots of older people as well, that see Christmas Eve and Christmas Day as date night. So yes, in Japan, I would say that Christmas Eve is probably one of the biggest date night holidays. And you'll see a lot of people making reservations well in advance for a special romantic getaway or dinner or couple-oriented event. So I guess the reason why it surprised me is because all while I was growing up, even when I was a teenager, even when I was a university student, Christmas was a big family time. It was time to get together with your family, your relatives, and spend precious time together. In Japan, I think that special family time happens during the New Year holidays, and that's when families get together. They see Christmas Eve as being more to spend with your friends or loved ones, whereas when I was growing up, we spent New Year's Eve kind of as a date night, party night, and a time to spend with our friends and loved ones. I'm just surprised at how much goes into these Christmas Eve dates. Obviously, I don't know because I didn't celebrate a lot of Christmas Eves on romantic dates. But it is kind of interesting to me that if you ask a lot of teenagers or if you ask a lot of people what they want to do on Christmas Eve, they do want to spend time with their significant other, which I understand. Number 4, maybe it wasn't really a surprise, but it's just something that Japan does a little bit differently. Yet I think they think that they're doing it the way that other countries do it. This is in regards to Christmas cake. Almost every family that I know from the students that I teach celebrate Christmas Eve or Christmas Day with some sort of Christmas cake. Now, my idea, or growing up, when I thought of Christmas cake, I thought of the European versions, or the fruit cakes, or you know, the cakes that you see on television Christmas specials and dramas. I didn't think of Christmas cakes as being cakes like you would celebrate your birthday with. But in Japan, a big thing to do is to order a Christmas cake and eat it together with your family or your loved one. You have to order these cakes in advance. Often, if you want to go and buy a whole cake at a bakery or store, you probably won't be able to get it on that day. You'll notice that outside bakeries and stores, they'll have people with boxes and boxes of cakes, and they're just coming to pick up their order. If you go to places like Baskin-Robbins to get a Christmas cake, you have to order those in advance too, and sometimes business that day, you'll just see people lined up to pick up their cakes. And I think it's a nice tradition. I think it's something that everyone can look forward to. I'm sure children get excited to have a special cake. And cakes in Japan, the sizes of cakes are a little bit different than, say, the cakes that I grew up with in Los Angeles. Sometimes when you go to a bakery, right, you see those big old cakes, and I don't know, I don't know how you could finish that at one time, but we probably did when we were growing up. But the cakes here in Japan, they have all different sizes, and they're quite small, I think, in comparison to cakes in other countries. They range from elaborate decorations to very simple ones, but all Christmas themed. So if you don't have a huge family or a lot of people to celebrate and eat cake with, you can go to convenience stores and get individual sizes of cake. They also have at the bakery the cutest tiny cakes. So I adopted this little Christmas tradition that Japan does by buying myself a little cake, not a huge one, a little cake, and enjoying some cake after my Christmas Eve meal or after my Christmas Day meal. I think it's a good tradition, even if my waistline doesn't. I've saved number 5 for last because this was the thing that surprised me the most, I think. But it might not surprise a lot of people that grew up with this in Japan, because I think they think this is something that we do, or this is one of the ways we celebrate Christmas in other countries. And that's the Christmas dinner meal. Now, I don't know how all of you celebrated Christmas dinner, but when we were growing up, yeah, we did have sometimes the traditional fixings. We often had maybe a Christmas turkey or Christmas ham. Because I grew up in Los Angeles, we sometimes had Christmas tacos and Christmas Day tamales, and it didn't, I guess we didn't really have a traditional meal. Maybe there's a lot of families that do have certain foods that they eat only at Christmas, but I think we had more of like a potluck style where we just brought our favorite foods and made like a little buffet or festive table, and you just pick and get what you want to eat. But for some reason, I think Japan thinks that Christmas meal equals roast chicken. And I get it, because probably most Japanese homes don't have ovens large enough to cook Christmas turkeys, so turkey is not a big thing in Japan. But those little rotisserie chickens, or they can probably cook that. That being said, rather than going through all the trouble of making a roast chicken or preparing it yourself, a lot of families reserve their Christmas dinner at KFC. That's right, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. I just found that a little bit surprising, because for us growing up, KFC was fast food. KFC was what you take on picnics, or a place that you go to get a midnight snack. You get the bucket and just, you know, share it with your friends. It wasn't anything festive. It was just fried chicken. But in Japan, families and many people pre-order their buckets or boxes of KFC chicken to have as their Christmas dinner meal. It's so weird for me to think that KFC equals Christmas dinner. I even asked my students the other day in class, how many of you are having KFC for Christmas dinner? So many hands went up. I was surprised. And it's not only KFC. There are other fast food eateries that sell fried chicken or varieties of chicken. Costco and their rotisserie chicken. Anything having to do with chicken, you better make sure that you either pre-order or have it ready a little bit before Christmas Day, because otherwise you probably won't get any chicken. I made the mistake of waiting one year thinking that I could just go and pick up a chicken just to celebrate like everybody else did, and there wasn't anything available. So I always opted for Christmas sushi, or I usually make Christmas crab hot pot. That's what I like to eat during Christmas, is just something a little bit more festive, because I see KFC as being food that I can get anytime. Crab, I can't get anytime. And crab, I need to save up my budget so that I can treat myself to a nice Christmas dinner. I feel like I can treat myself to KFC any time of the year, but that's just me. So, yeah, so I think it still boggles every foreigner's mind that comes here and sees so many people wanting or talking about KFC for Christmas dinner. So those are the 5 things that I think surprised me the most about the way Japan celebrates Christmas. If you are also in Japan and you've had similar surprises or things that kind of surprised you about the way they celebrate the holidays here in Japan, please go ahead and share them in the comments. And I really appreciate all of you that have connected with me through YouTube or any of the other platforms that I've met you on. I am just so blessed with being able to spend time here on YouTube with all of you and share some of these things. If you're interested in hearing more about what life is like in Japan, especially during this holiday season, please consider subscribing. I'm still new to this Vlogmas stuff, so I apologize for my Vlogmas blunders or my lack of actually being able to go out and do some festive things. I'm almost there. We have one more big meeting at school to make sure all our documents and report cards are in order. And then Monday, which is just in a few days, Monday is the closing ceremony at my school. And then I've got some holiday time. As a teacher, we are under so much stress and are going through a lot of emotions and pressures at this time. And so I want to just give a shout out to my fellow teachers, because we've held it together for quite a while. And teaching as the holidays approach it's exhausting and it takes a lot out of us. And for me, being able to come here on YouTube and just sort of open up, share my feelings, let stress out, whatever, it's been so therapeutic. And I don't know, I know it's not for everybody, but find the things that you love doing, find the things you enjoy doing, the things that make you happy, and surround yourself with those moments over the holidays. Thank you so much for listening to today's Vlogmas, and I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into some of the things that are happening here and the way Japan celebrates their holidays. I will see you in the next Vlogmas, so until then, take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.